Welcome back to Retro Wednesday, the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about making custom wings for your Sectaurs. So, there are a lot of Sectaurs out there missing wings, dragonflyers, spider flyers, and individual bugs themselves, and I am not part of the anti-repro crowd. In fact, I'm the antithesis of that. I make my own parts. I want my collection to look good. So let's get right into saving some of these vintage toys by giving them some wings. I really think the best solution, after thinking about this for months and trying to figure out what material to use, I'm just going to use laminate. I'm going to laminate this stuff, and I think that will be the best option right here. So I've got this thing heated up. These are pretty hot. And I have a couple of laminating pouches or sheets over here. The thing about this is you can get this laminator stuff for real cheap. I think it's a box of 200 for like 15 or 20 bucks. I'm also doing this for the first time. I'm experimenting. I put a little spray paint to kind of give it a little bit of color. Because when you see these things, they look like they have a little bit of color reflective to it. So what I'm going to do here is lightly dust this. Just a light dusting. Overpowering over the other. A little bit too much in the yellow there. Maybe I can offset that with a little bit of... And you want a little distance. And there we go. Looking at the little piece of one that I've got in there, it looks like it's reflecting some colors. So just for fun, we'll see how that comes out. If it doesn't come out, of course, we're going to do a regular one also. All right, here it is, boringly going through the laminator. I went ahead and ran the... This one's got some color to it. It might be fun to have some with color. But yeah, it takes a little while to get stuff laminated. It's not the fun part of the video. Next up, we're simply going to cut this stuff out. I'm going to use this laminated spray paint, which I literally just did some spray painting. Light dusting of different colors on this. Now, looking at the picture, the wings look to be about the size of the torso, I guess you could say right there. But since I don't actually have one, I'm just going to kind of wing it and make it up. But you do have to have a place for it to insert into the side. So we'll go ahead and start just cutting it out, just based on what I see from the picture. I'm going to get a rough kind of estimate and then work my way around. But the thing is, once I get one, I'm going to use it as a template and make others based on it. So we also want to see, will it slide in? And we need it narrow enough to slide in. So that's not narrow enough to slide in. And just keep working on it until I can get the right size and shape and all that. It's still not sliding in. That's a narrow little gap there for it. Another way to do it, of course, is to have pre-done this with paper and just have a template, which is probably the best way to do it. But I think this laminator stuff is cheap enough, and that's the beginning. And kind of that's what it'll look like, you know, when we're done. But we've got to get it formed the right way and in the right way, make two of them and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to keep working on it based on this picture, but it's really one of those things that it's just going to be kind of an artist's rendering. It's not going to be exact. And also, real ones have some depth to them, so I may do a couple folds into it. I want to figure that out. But again, this is just something to have to display. It's better than nothing is the way it's going to be. So after about a minute of off camera, just kind of cleaning it up, got it a lot closer to the picture, and that was my goal. I wanted it as close to the picture as I can. Now with this, it slides in just fine. I'm going to make a few others and just base it off of this template. Now I'm actually not really happy with the colors of it. I would have probably just done a light dusting of yellow or something might be better. Very light dusting. I really thought a mix of colors would sort of match this better, but maybe just like a light dusting of yellow. I don't know. But the clear one might even look better, but we're going to cut it out of this. I'm literally just going to use this as a template, cut around it, and have a second. But I'm going to do that off camera because everything's easier off camera. A couple of fun tips and tricks here. And first off, I like to not waste any material. So I'm going to go opposite of the way I've cut the first one out. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double side tape this down I think that having it not slide around and stay in the same position is going to be extremely helpful when making this. So a couple of tips on making stuff from scratch. A lot of fun. Now with it cut out, let's split it because it is taped, and you should have two exact. And even if I altered the original, this isn't an original. So if you have an original and you're following, I would use a paper method, but I just find this easier. Let me get that double-sided tape off real quick. All right, so let's put these in. Evidently, according to the picture, the longer side goes toward the front, and so we're going to slide that in. And we want to get it underneath I want to get it underneath my original piece that's stuck in there. Most will find there's still an original piece stuck in there somewhere. So that's what I want to do. At least that's my goal. And this one on this side. I might have to shorten one of them, but still, there it is. And it's okay. It's okay. It's probably not the best, but let's see what it looks like on Arzon. All right, so here's Arzon. Here he is with his wings. He's not wanting to stand up, so he's leaning up against the laminator. So it looks okay. There's kind of flap to the back. It's moved to the back a bit. I got to figure something out there, but it's still, hey, it's better than nothing. It looks pretty good for nothing for now, and I can perfect it, do a few other things. But let's move on to the next one. We're going to see about putting wings on this guy. For this guy, I'm going to use the clear, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut out like I did before. In this case, I'm just going to cut out a small square, and then I'm going to work it around and looking and seeing he has a much wider path there. It would be ideal to have it all one piece because that's the gimmick this has. So will I get the gimmick to work? That's going to be a tough decision we'll make at the end here, but it's going to have to also go deeper, so it's wider. I can't use the same exact type. I couldn't copy that one. For this one, it's a different design and everything. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to get to cutting, looking at the picture, and we'll come back. We got two more wings cut out. We have the original template, and now we can put this in and see how it looks. Maybe we could do one with one color and one with the other, or one with color and one with no color. I think I like the one with the color better. I think I put that one, the other one in backwards. This is where it's also going to get into a challenge because the thickness of this, it really wasn't made for all this thickness in here, and I can't get the original one out, and I would like to get the original out for more space. So this is just going to take a lot of finagling to get it to work, but it works. Now we can see it, one with color, one without color. I like the one with the color better. I just feel, it feels like it's more something of substance. And recreating this, how many of these out there don't have wings? And now you can do this. Now, there's also another idea. If you're really satisfied with your work, which this one's backwards, by the way. If you're really satisfied with your work, you could also probably put a little super glue on it, insert them, and they'll probably hold in better. That super glue would overlap with this, and you can push them together like this, and it would hold it in. I wouldn't go that far myself because I probably would have a better design down the road, come up with a better idea, try different colors, but I'm really pleased with how that's turning out. Looks pretty good. It slides out as it bounces, but it still maintains the original function. Very nice. And here it is in both of the colored ones on there, getting the job done. Now with two items on the agenda down and one to go, this one might actually end up being a fail. We're doing it together, and I'm experiencing it for the first time too. But as you can see, I've got wings, but the ones that have still this piece here you can shove in there work okay. The ones missing don't work okay. Now, I'm not going to try to repair this. I could probably do some sort of extension to this, which is probably what I'll do down the road. But right now, I'm focusing on people that don't have one of these at all. So, kind of giving a guideline on how long they are. I think that it's almost the exact same length as a figure, and plus you need to have some sort of a tip to insert it. So that gives you an idea how long these wings are. And so I'm going to make a reproduction wing here and see if I can get it to sort of look okay. And I'm going to use the colored stuff. We'll see how it goes. I have a feeling I know an issue that's going to pop up though. So as you can see right here, it's almost the same length as the 11.5 by 8 inch paper, or 8.5 by 11, whatever. It's almost that length of the paper, so of the laminate. So I'm going to kind of roughly cut it out and measure it up, but I will not be using this as a template because I don't want to cut anything off the original. So that's, you got to be careful with that. The way I'm going to go about this is I'm going to trim it, then I'm going to match it up, then I'm going to trim it again and match it up, and just keep doing a lot of little adjustments. It might be 20 little adjustments to get it to match, but I'm also going to leave extra space down here. So I'm going to actually make this wider, and so this is going to be left wide to crunch up and shove in there, and maybe give it a bit of a crunch look to it. So after a little bit of just messing with it, I was able to get it to look about like this, but it's not going to be exactly the same because I'm actually going to fold this over, and I want to fold it under. So I got to figure out which is front, which is back, but I'm going to fold it under to make it a little stronger, give it a little bit more support. This is actually straight up folding it, and that's going to give it a little more support there. And then as you can see, it's still going to get a fold right here. So I'm going to fold that also. Got to get it stronger so it can actually be a wing, do what it needs to do. We'll see if we can get it to work. And also, if you look at it, it does have some folds to it. So giving it actual folds might make it look a little bit more realistic and giving it some veininess to it because that's the way the original looks. So here it is. Next to that, of course, the original looks so much better. We all know that. But let's put it in and see how it looks. So the next thing you do is you got to kind of insert it into this, and I dug out all the glue and stuff that's in there so it inserts better, and I think it's actually going to insert just fine. And it looks like it's about the right angle. Looks like it's going to flop. So let's get it all connected up and see how it looks. There it is. Seems to be working okay. I might have to do a little bit more work to this flyer, and yeah, I'm sorry about the sound. It's kind of crazy. Nobody wants to hear that mess, but still, it looks pretty good. It gets the job done, and with that, I've got another one of these dragon flyers that could use a whole set of wings. The problem is not having those plastic pieces. So without wings, most of the time you don't get the plastic connector piece, but hey, at least we've got something. So there's my quick look at how to make some fake reproduction wings, or just get some sort of wings on your Sectaurs. These custom wings are nowhere near as good as the originals. Still go after originals. I'm still going to go after originals if I find them, but it's not worth the price to me. And now that I got something and it works, I'm happy. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Tydirium Hanger out.